Hi there, my friends. My name is Jack Wallen, and I'm here to talk to you about something that is rather important to me. Now, I'm going to say this, that probably going to be a recurring theme for the next few months because, well, needless to say, a lot of people are scared. A lot of people don't know what to do. So, if you're an artist, or if you have an interest in the lives of artists, or you love an artist, or you're a friend to an artist, pay attention. So back in 2016, you know exactly what happened, so I'm not going to bring it up. I'm not going to describe it ad nauseum. I wrote a book. Surprise, surprise. That book was called POTUS. It was my absurdist take on the election. It also happened to be the second book in at what the time was going to be the Punk-ass Punk series, which after writing POTUS, I kind of let it go. Maybe I'll come back to it, I don't know. But here's my point. I had to write POTUS. I had to. I had to get that out of my system. But more than that, I needed to shine a light on what I believed was a profound injustice here in the United States. Or maybe, if you don't consider it an injustice, a profound mistake. And I believe that had I not written that book, I think the 4 years between 2016 and 2020 would have been exponentially more difficult for me. That's not to say that just in the act of writing the book, I purged myself of all of that, because it was all still there. The anger, the frustration, the fear, it was all there. And here we are again. Second verse, same as the first. Now, I'm not going to make this another political rant. I got that out of my system for now. In a video that I didn't make public. I published the video, but I made it private because I was fairly certain that none of you wanted to hear me go off like that. But this is a little bit more personal. For centuries, artists have stood up to injustice and made their voices part of the collective in hopes that their additional voice would help to bring about change. And if not change globally or nationally, change on an individual level. That someone might read a book or experience a piece of theater or watch a movie or listen to a song and be moved by that piece of art in such a way that they might reevaluate their opinions and their actions. I've been there. I've read something. I've listened to something, and it made me think, it made me consider some of the opinions that I held true, and said, well, maybe that's wrong, or maybe that's just not the right way to go about existing. And I have always taken that role on as an artist very seriously. I have in every, and I know that some artists disagree with me, some consumers of art disagree with me, but I did a video a while ago about how every art has to tell a story, has to have meaning. Yeah, some people disagree with me, that's fine. But I stand firm with that, and I believe it is incumbent upon me to use my craft to hold a mirror up to society. And I can't think of a book that I have written that didn't do that. Even my sci-fi novel that I just finished and is now in the hands of the beta readers, it's called Aftermath. Even with that, I took a stand on something. And I think that's just inherent in who I am. I feel like if I tell a story that doesn't have a metaphor, be it overt or very, very, very subtle, I feel like I am not serving my art. And I know right now I'm going to continue on with the Aftermath series, and I'm going to continue having something to say with it. And that something to say might be slightly altered based on the events that occurred, the event that occurred on January 20th here in America. You know what I'm talking about. Does that mean that the second book in the series is going to get overtly political? No, it's not. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to use that series as a sledgehammer to beat people over the head. But given the nature of the first book and how and kind of the event that occurred that sort of launched the need for what happens in the book is kind of political adjacent, it makes sense for me to continue that on. But it's not just making sense. For me, it's almost a directive to use my voice to stand up against tyranny, misinformation, poor decisions by people in power, ignorant decisions by people in power, decisions that hurt average people because the people in power have only their own best interests in mind. I feel the need. I am compelled to do that. And I know, I mean, seriously, when I wrote POTUS, I knew when that book was published that there would be people out there who would start reading it and go, "Oh, hell no. His political views are the polar opposite of mine. So I'm done with this. I'm done with this book. I'm done with this writer, blah, blah, blah." And I had people, other writers tell me, you're taking a chance here. And to them I said, anyone who has read any of my novels to date knows where I stand. From the very get-go in my writing career, I started out with 2 books about the transgendered community. One of them was a thriller, A Blade Away, and one of them was a superhero. I almost said a cartoonish superhero, but it's not cartoonish. It's a superhero series, a humorous superhero series called She-Ra. And ever since then, I have baked it into my art that I want my voice to represent the people that don't often get represented. I have a book about goth culture, Gothica. And then there are, you can just, any book, you pick up any one of my books and you'll find something in there where it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense that he's saying this, that he's got this thread wrapped within the kernel of this story. It makes sense. And part of that is I believe this is personal. This is absolutely personal. This is I know a lot of artists would fundamentally disagree with me, but I believe that after you've read the sum total of my work, you will probably think, I kind of know him now. I know the writer now. I get him. And again, I think that that has been intentional throughout my career, because I feel like, personally again, I feel like it is a responsibility of mine to inject some of me into those books. Like the narrator in the Shiro series, it's me. It's me. The DJ in Zombie Radio, that's me. The main character in the Me and My Muse series that's going to be put on stage, that's me. And it's just how I am. It's just the artist that I am. When I'm working on a production, when I'm acting in a production, one of the things that I hold very dear is that one of the ways that I can bring a character to life in a unique way, in a way that no one else has done, is by creating that character through my lens, through my own experience, through my eyes, through my heart, through my soul, my voice. When I add me into that mix, it all of a sudden becomes very unique, which is the same thing with my writing. And a part of that, because of who I am as a person, I'm going to stand up for something that I believe in. And I am going to speak truth to power in the way that I can. Because, I don't have a hotline to the White House to pick up and say, hey, look, you're making a mistake here. You better back off. I don't have that. But I have my words. And I will use them in any way that I can. Be it in a book, be it in an essay, a social media post, whatever. I will use that voice to stand up for marginalized people, for stand up for human rights, for stand up for animal rights, for stand up to all of the things that I hold dear to my heart. Because I cannot sit idly by while injustice happens to good people. Injustices happen to good people. I can't. And I know, in the grand scheme of things, my voice is small. My voice is literally a drop of water in the ocean. I understand that. That does not stop me from doing what I feel is necessary. If you're an artist, I would ask that you think about this. I'm not saying you've got to do this, because you don't got to do anything. I was going to say except pay your taxes, but if you're wealthy enough, you can get away with it, get around that as well. Another thing to write about. You can trace the trajectory of art and social causes way, 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 way back. Shakespeare, the Greeks, they were all standing up to power with their words. Not every play, not every book, but they knew how much power their pen wielded. And I know, as I said, I am a drop in the ocean. Not even a drop in the bucket, a drop in the ocean. But here's the thing. If every artist out there decides to use their voice, stand up to lies and fascism and all of those things that we fear, those little drops, drop, 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 they actually start to get bigger and bigger and bigger until those little drops are a glass of water, and then a tub filled with water, and then a swimming pool, and then a lake, and then a river, and then an ocean. And if we all stand together, we might have a chance to affect change. And that is power. Now, I'm not saying that we do this for the power, because if we do that, then we're just mimicking what we see from above. We do this to hip check power, to say, oh no, you better check yourself before you wreck the entire country. So yeah, use your voice. And that just does, not just maybe in your art, but call your representatives. Write a book like POTUS. Write a song about it. Write a play about it, a TV series, a movie, a painting, an opera, a symphony, whatever your artistic jam is, use it. And stand up against those that would oppress. Because that is one of the things that we artists do the best. Use your words, your paintbrush, your voice, your body, your guitar, your piano, your violin, your clay, your fabric, whatever it is that you use as an artist. Wield it. Have something to say, and say it loud. Say it so loud everyone can't not hear it. And you thought you didn't have, you thought you couldn't do anything to affect change. Well, you can. Let's rise up, artists. Let's lead the way. Let's lead the charge in our own little creative way. Thank you so much for sitting in with me again. I've been filming a lot lately, partially because my wife is gone. She left. She's visiting her parents. She didn't leave me. I don't think. She might come back. Anyway, that's not what we're here for. Thank you so much for sitting here with me and listening to me go on and on and on. And I hope that we artists can stand up to that oppression and show those around us that there is hope. Because that is one thing that art always does, is deliver hope. Thank you so much. And I hope that you and everyone you know and love have a wonderful, wonderful day.